Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to my afternoon strategy session. I am your vision coach, LaToya Early. I help startup coaches find their message, narrow their niche, and create multiple streams of income through business growth and lifestyle transformation. So listen, I'm going to give you guys some time to come on in. You guys know the drill. Make sure you come in, make sure you're introducing yourself, and make sure you tag another coach, right? Make sure you tag another coach. So listen, I want to give you guys some time to come in because I want to share with you 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during the crisis. Okay, I want to share with you 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during the crisis. So do me a favor and come on in, introduce yourself if you are a coach. If you are aspiring to become a coach, listen, make sure you let me know that as well. I got off of a clarity call this morning, and one of my questions on my intake form is, are you currently coaching? And so she put no. But then when we got on the call with each other, she's like, well, I do coaching, but I don't formally coach. Listen, coaching is a call. So whether or not you are being paid for your coaching, whether or not you have the proper formatting and the framework and the structure, I want to know if you are coaching, what type of coach you are, what type of things do you talk about in your coaching? I want to know these things, right? So do me a favor and tag another coach. I want to spend a couple minutes during my afternoon strategy session to give you some tips and strategies on how to hold yourself accountable during this time, right? So here's what I need you guys to do. I need you to come on in. I need you to give me some hearts, right? Give me some hearts. I need you to introduce yourself. I need you to tag another coach so that I can share with you 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during the crisis. Cool. 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during the crisis. So I'm super excited because listen, I just posted a free resource on my page. I'm going to be a part of a virtual summit next week on Wednesday. So make sure you guys register for the virtual summit. There's going to be leaders and experts across the world a part of this summit. I'm super excited because I'm representing the US. So make sure you guys are registering for that free virtual summit. It is a leadership summit for women leaders. So if you are a leader, if you are a woman, if you are an executive leader, if you're a coach, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever type of leader you are, the virtual summit is for you. So make sure you guys go to my timeline and you check out the leadership virtual summit and make sure you register for it. Cool. Again, it's a free resource. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during this time. Okay. The 3 ways to hold yourself accountable as a coach, as an expert during the crisis. Remember, I've been talking a lot about, being an expert and really standing out during this time, and how you are to stand out as an expert specifically during this time. So we're going to go ahead and share 3 of those reasons, 3 ways, to hold yourself accountable. Number 1, the first way to hold yourself accountable during this time is to make a list. Okay? You need to make a list. You need to make a list of everything that needs to be done for you and for your business, for your coaching business during this time. What are all of the goals that you want to accomplish throughout the next 30 days? Write those things down. While right now we don't know how much longer, we're going to be in quarantine. You don't know how much more time all of this free time that you have. Let's learn how to turn the crisis into an opportunity, right? So I want you to take the next several minutes today, and I want you to write out a list. Again, we're talking about 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during this time as a coach, as an expert, as a leader. Number 1, I want you to create a list. Make a list of all the things that you need to do. All of the things that you need to do in your coaching business. This is how we're going to hold ourselves accountable. Once we make that list, because remember, writing the vision. Here's why writing down your list is so important, and not just being vocal with your list, not just voice memoing your list, but I want you to physically write it down. Why? Because the moment that you write something down, what you're doing is you're telling your subconscious that this information is important. right? So you're telling your subconscious this information is important. So I want you to write out the things that you want to accomplish in your business over the next 30 days, because writing it down is going to constantly subconsciously remind you that these things are important. Let's think about it. When you learned your first telephone number, right? I can remember my childhood telephone number like I can never remember another number, okay? When I tell you I remember my childhood telephone number like I use it today. Why? Because what did we used to do? Write it down, right? When you had to fill out emergency forms, when you was giving the cute guy your telephone number, like whatever the case was, you were always writing down this number. So if you're going to hold yourself accountable during this time, you're going to have to sit down and write out a list of all of the things that you want to accomplish over the next 30 days. And then I want you to put deadlines on them. Like, don't just create this long, lucrative, lavish list of a bunch of stuff. We're going to categorize it. We have 30 days. So you have week 1, 2, 3, and 4. What are you going to accomplish in week 1? This is how we're going to break down this list, right? So what are you going to accomplish in week 1? Once we figure out the goal for week 1, then we're going to break down that list and say, what am I going to do every day? We need to hold ourselves accountable during this time. While we're going to use the crisis as an opportunity, this isn't a time to just become lackadaisical. I did a video on yesterday, and I shared with you guys how to show up as an expert and as a mom, right? And so you still need to take time for your family. You need to take time for yourself, but you need to take time for your business, especially for my coaches who are dualpreneurs and you're working your 9 to 5 and you get home and you're exhausted and you're tired. Listen, here's your time to implement time so that you can grow your coaching business. This is not the time for you to sit back and, take a break. Like, don't get me wrong. This is the time to relax, refuel. And what was my other R? Refuel, relax, and I forgot. But this is the time for you to take that time to be with your family, but you don't want to let this time lapse and you're not maximizing your business, right? So the first step to accountability is writing out that list. Once you write that list out, we're going to break it down into 4 weeks. Once we break it down into 4 weeks, we're going to break it down into per day. So what are you doing per day? How much time are you going to spend on your coaching business per day so that you can build your coaching business and reach that revenue goal that you've been saying you're going to reach, or implement that program, or even build the program? Like, how much time are you going to spend in your coaching business for the next 4 weeks? Right? Number 2, you need to review your goals daily. So whatever your goal is, so I have a monthly financial goal, right? And so I write that financial goal down every single day. This is my goal. Why? Because I want to keep it in my face. This is what's holding me accountable. Not only is it going to keep me focused, but because I have this goal every single day, I'm getting up and I'm doing something to reach that goal. Right? I did an interview recently and they asked me about a vision board. They said, do they work or don't they work? I said, both. Both, right? Because here's the thing about being visual. And this is why I'm telling you to write it down. The way that God created your eyes is you don't connect with what you see. You connect with what your mind understands or what your mind connects with, right? So you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. So when your mind tells your eyes to see this as a goal, then now everything else magnifies, magnifies, right? I told y'all I'd be making up words. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Think about the car, right? Remember that car that you wanted to get in the moment, or the car that you just bought, or whatever the case may be. If you wanted it or you saw it or you bought it, you start seeing it everywhere, right? Why? Because your subconscious told you, stored that, and told you it was important to you. Well, it's the same thing with what's happening in your business. You have to start writing out the vision, because God gave us eyes to see. But remember, we aren't supposed to go by what we see. We're supposed to go by faith. Well, where does faith start? In your thinking. Because first the vision is in your mind. So I have to trust and believe that my eyes will soon see what I see in my thoughts, right? So you need to be intentional over the next 30 days, and you need to write the goals out. We're going to write them out 4 weeks. We're going to write all the goals out. We're going to break them up into 4 weeks. Then we're going to break them up into days. And then we're going to magnify the goal. So what's the goal? What is your goal that you want to reach in the next 7 days? We're going to write that goal out and we're going to make it big. So we're going to write it out and make it plain. So whether or not you post it, as a matter of fact, I'm going to post my goal biggest day in my office on my wall, right? So that I can see it. And then I'm going to write it every single day. This is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm reaching for, right? So again, we're talking about 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during this crisis as a coach, as an expert, as a leader. You want to make a list. You want to break that list up. You want to write your goals out repetitively. And then lastly, you want to join some sort of community. What online, offline, phone, text, of course, not in a social setting, but a virtual setting. What type of virtual community are you a part of that's going to help you stay consistent and hold yourself accountable? Here's the time where we need to increase our standards. Right? So where are you going to not only increase your standards, because right now, because you've been maybe working, you're a dualpreneur, so you may be working your 9 to 5, you may be a mom, you may be a wife, you have all of these things going on. And so your expectations or your standards for your coaching business has been kind of low because, you have so many other things and responsibilities to attend to. Well, now that we're in this place of restoring, refueling, resting, all of the R's that I can't remember that I talked about. Now that we're in that place, what you have more time for your business, right? So now this is the time for you to connect virtually with some sort of community, with some sort of group, with someone, so that we can not only lift your expectations or your standards for your coaching business, but we can now hold you accountable, right? So here's what I want to do. I want to offer a complimentary coaching day on Monday for my coaches. You guys know I love Mondays. I love to maximize our Mondays. So I want to hold a complimentary coaching day, Coach the Coach, for my coaches on Monday. This is your time to virtually commit to a community that's going to hold you accountable. Cool. So I'm going to drop the link to that in the comments. I'm going to be posting about it periodically throughout the day. This is going to be a complimentary work day for coaches where we're going to come together virtually and we're going to get some things done. We're going to take our goals. We're going to break them down. We're going to focus on your program. What program are you developing? What program are you looking to offer? Who are you offering it to? And when are you going to finally offer it, right? So if you know a coach, if you're interested, I'm going to put the link in the comments. Make sure you register. You have to register for it. You're going to join me on Zoom. That's going to be perfect. We're going to be able to rock out and we're going to be able to get some things done. Cool. So again, I wanted to share those 3 ways to hold yourself accountable during this time as an expert, as a coach. It is time for you to rock out. Listen, you can do it. I know you can. Let's get the support that you need during this time so that we can make it happen. Cool. Alrighty, guys. If there aren't any questions, or we have any questions, comments, or concerns, I saw some people chiming in. Make sure you come on in. If you're catching the replay, let me know what type of coach you are. Make sure you drop that in the comments and tag another coach. I am doing a complimentary coaching day, Coach the Coach, on Monday, March 30th. For my coaches. So I want you guys to be a part of that so that we can hold one another accountable during this time. Cool. So we're going to be coaching through the crisis. Make sure you check out the link. Make sure you register and I'll see you guys on Monday. Cool. Be blessed.